Yep. Oh man, your dog's like getting into the MIA stuff.
Oh yeah, she probably thinks there's a Scooby snack in here.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's start off by saying hi to Crypt Keeper, Big Tank Tank, Whips World, Jimmy P, Nano, Aquarium Guy, Bunny Viper, and this is why I don't normally do it, and Jenny Lynn. I'm just not super fast like James is when he goes with it. Oh, we got Mountaintop Greenery. We got George. Thank you guys for showing up. It's just a fun Friday night. We got a big storm coming in. You guys might hear some cool thunder. It was pretty neat. We didn't even know it was coming here. How's your weather been?
It's going to be brutal the next 3 days. It's going to be in the upper 90s the next 3 days.
Ah, geez. That's rough. Well, okay, Kenny. Since Kenny's here, and Kenny is like my go-to guy when it comes to big, aggressive fish, I have one tank that I don't keep little fish in. And I've been slowly restocking it because what happened was I had 2 threadfin acaras made up, and they killed all the geophagus and one of the other acaras. So I've been slowly trying to figure out what I can put in there that won't just kill each other. And at the last fish club meeting I went to in Atlanta, somebody had brought in a little green spotted Severin. It was about that big, and he's the smallest fish in the tank, but he's just doing great. I've got 2 girl threadfin acaras in there, and he's just like happy to swim around and not get beat up.
And so some of the tank baits I would do, if you want mellow, it sounds like it's going to be a mellow tank. Yep. I'd probably do like a rainbow cichlid. Cute little cichlid, gets about this big, bright yellow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then firemouth would be another good one.
Oh, I thought firemouths were super aggressive.
No, they're semi-aggressive. I think that'd be an okay take for it.
We caught one of those in Florida, didn't we?
No, that was a jewel.
Oh, I knew we got jewels too.
Yeah, jewels I wouldn't mess with. Electric blue Jack Dempsey, not the regular Jack Dempsey, but the electric blue Dempseys are a little less hectic temperament. I would recommend that in there.
Oh, I like those. Sean Peck has one of those in with his rainbow Bozemantes.
Yeah, they're cool.
He's got about a 22-inch Bisher in there.
Oh, wow.
And everybody gets along. So, yeah, that should work then. Oh, well.
I'm sorry. Matt distracted me. He says, I say it looks that the thumbnail guessing Kenny is a catcher. You are not even right there, mister.
What position do you play in baseball?
I was center field.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, I preferred right field because it seemed to be the easiest spot out there. The least amount of stress. Most of the time, all you do is run out on the field and then run back.
Right.
So center field did all the work, and I hope that it was like there was a fast center fielder so I didn't have to do any work.
Yeah, Whips, they are stunted. Whip says the electric blue Jack Dempsey are impossible to raise up. They past 4 inches.
Oh, wow. Well, if I can find a 4-inch or bigger, I'll try to get it. But I don't want to get one that's too small. Because I do have one Bisher in there, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I forgot about the Bisher, yeah.
But she's about 12 inches, but she's a armored one, and so she's really tall. You know, like as in my other Bisher, I can't put in that tank because they're just too aggressive. They're about 16 inches long, but they're like rope fish still. They haven't gotten thick at all. She's huge and thick, but she's not super long.
Yeah, if you get something too small, she'd definitely take a bite out of it probably.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got Liquid Zoo. We already said hello to him. Verily came in. The Nano Aquarium guy came in. Lonnie, a.k.a. Looney Tunes, in the house. And who else we got coming in here? I said Sarah. Oh, there's Kirk Sicklets 23. What's up, Mister?
BJ.
Mr. Eduardo's in the house. Master Aquatics. John
Oh.
McKenzie.
See, I lost my chat. I had chat up, set it up perfect for the stream, and I realized James wasn't here to hit the start button. I was like, oh no.
And there's my buddy George RB3. That's the gentleman I told you had his first stream last night. He's in here showing us some support.
Awesome, George. Well, I'm going to write that down, and then I'm going to sub to you afterwards, and I will check your show out.
Well, we're both agreed, George. Get some content on there, mister. You need to get some videos, baby.
What's George's favorite fish?
Guppies. He's a live bearer guy.
Oh, so he's really cool.
What's cool about George is he basically helped build every fish club down the I-5 corridor. He's helped 5 fish clubs get started now.
He kind of sounds a lot like John.
He's really
from,
a neat guy. Neat
Select
guy.
Pet. John from Select Pet's amazing like that. I mean, he belongs to the Indianapolis club with me. His club in Kentucky, and then he's joined the Knoxville club. Just a great guy.
And I think I'm a member of 3 or 4 now. I can't remember. I think I'm Seattle, Portland, Willamette, and then Salem.
Awesome.
Haven't made that. George's other clubs seem to be running the same time as my other club, so I haven't been down to see his other clubs further down the I-5.
I haven't been able to make it to Indianapolis meeting for since the whole COVID thing happened.
Now, was Lucas a member of that one?
Yeah, he even wears the shirt a lot. Circle City Aquarium Club or something like that.
That black hat he wears every week, that's a Guppus hat that he has.
Yeah, that's awesome. When those go up for sale, I'll have to buy one of those. Or do you guys only give those to speakers?
We're out of them at the moment.
I bet.
We gotta make a new swag gear. We need to do that.
Yep. I need to make another order of the Fish Mafia hats because this is the last one. And I'm not selling this one because I've been wearing it. And so does Deadpool. So hats go, man. I was surprised on how fast hats sell.
I wear them for fishing. That's about it.
I wear them so my head doesn't burn. And yeah, wish I had more hair. Then I'd be a lot cooler.
I probably have to start wearing more often. I got little or no hair left up there myself.
Your arm's
Sergey.
looking pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, it's getting there, dude. Still can't go much higher than that, but it's getting there. I start rehab on Thursday.
I can get about this high without
So
much pain.
when they did they go through the bone and everything in the shoulder blade, or how did they do that?
No, they go through right up here.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah,
But
I
they
got
go
a
through all
little
the
one.
muscles through it that go across.
Mine's just a mere flesh wound, man. Just barely even got me.
Oh, man, mine's like sore. Not fun. Can't wait till that heals up so I can start swimming again. Oh, Scuba Steve is in the house. And PA. Good to have you, man.
What's up, brother?
Oh, and Sicklets is here.
Yeah, Kirk's been here, man.
Oh, now have you got to meet him in real life yet?
Oh, yeah. He came to Fishtoberfest.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
He came, and I met Candy Overhauls that day, and a lot of people came down from Seattle. It was awesome.
Did you give him a high five when you met him? Uh-oh. Either that made Kenny freeze up or he...
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
I thought you got very offended that I said, did you give him high five?
Yeah, that was a great time, man. Met up with a lot of cool folks that weekend.
Oh, there's the amazing Father Fish. I was watching him earlier today. I didn't talk because I was eating at the same time. And I
He
was
says,
afraid.
one more booty boy.
And really, Father Fish is the master booty boy.
I don't care if he comes up. Bring him on up.
I don't know how. Oh gosh.
There should be a way to invite a guest. You'll see it down below there. It says invite guest.
Okay, let's see. I'm hitting the invite. Copy to clipboard. I'll do that. Father Fish, you might be the first. Normally, James is my technical guy.
Then you can just drop it in chat if that makes it easier.
Let's see. There's like little buttons. Oh, I just hit him, I think, on accident.
You're good.
Okay, so
you see down below where it says chat? There should be a box for your chat down there. So
yes.
Put it in there, right click, paste, and then I will let them come up.
Okay, guys, this is for Father Fish. And that's if Father Fish wants to come up. If you don't, it's totally cool.
Well, I thought that's what he said. One more booty boy, meaning him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, you know, I have a weird thing going on in my dad's tank. I set it up for him, and we put 4 inlers in there, and it's down to 1. In the last week, I've lost 3 inlers. Oh, here's Father Fish. And there he is. What? In the last week, lost 3 inlers. Oh, here's Father Fish.
Hey, guys.
And there he is. Hey there.
Oh, you must have your YouTube still on.
Yeah, I got it.
There you go. So what you been doing, mister?
Say what?
So what you been up to?
Well, I've been moving.
Well, I knew that. Are you up north now?
Yeah, I'm in Salisbury, Maryland, which is about half an hour from Ocean City. So I'm right on the coast.
If I moved somewhere called Salisbury, I'd probably put 100 pounds on.
Yeah.
I
tell you,
I love them.
I don't think there are any more restaurants here than anywhere else in the world. It's amazing.
There's Miss EJ, your co-host. She's in
Miss
here.
EJ.
Sunset Jen just came in. And then we got, sorry, I got to do it. Skull Xanadu. What's going on, brother?
So that's for Xanadu or Xanadu when you do that.
Xanadu.
Yeah, he's a Vikings fan.
I always think it's for Skull, and then I realize it's not Skull that you're doing it for.
No, it's for Xanadu, man.
Poor Skull. Well, I got to meet EJ last night. She came up on the Fish Room Fever show and showed us her awesome tank and how she collects wood and for it. And man, she's a good scaper. I tell you what.
Yeah. She's a good girl.
And Miss Steph with Aquaria Life's here now too. Cool. We got all the cool kids coming in.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I was quizzing my dad because I checked all the water. I don't, everything is fine for inlers to be living in this tank, and I'm down to 1 of my 4 inlers in that tank for my mom and dad. And the only thing I was wondering is if, like, my dad had hand lotion on his hand or something when he was cleaning it.
That's petroleum based, so I bet you that's it.
But he said that he didn't. But I just don't know what else could be killing those inlers. Yeah, and those are like my prized ones because they're like the cream of the crop.
You were just telling me earlier today about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these inlers like perfectly pink inlers, and I'm like been trying to call them and get them just perfect pink. And then I told my mom she could have whatever she wanted in the fish room because she really wanted glowfish, but I told her it's too small of a tank for white skirts. And so she picked my pink inler boys that are my studs, and now they're dying.
So, Father Fish, have you found any good collection spots yet?
I'm looking. I've been here 2 days. I've checked out 2 ditches and 1 pond, and I'm going in a creek in the morning.
My man, we knew he was going to be collected the minute he got anywhere. He's as bad as James, man.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I would bet that is the. I don't know, man, because endlers are usually pretty tough too.
Yeah, they're tougher than guppies. I don't
What
know
are they
what
doing?
they're just
Dying.
dying.
Dying, right.
And all the materials from that tank, I won it at Aquashella. It was an Awazi, one of their premier scapers, scaped that tank. And so it's all high-end materials in it. Except I pulled the hang off the back out and I put in a little sponge filter because
what
I didn't want
substrate
it.
did you put in there?
I don't know, whatever they did.
Well, that's the only thing I was going to get at. If it's one of those ones that needs a little time to, go up and go down. Some of those substrates release ammonia and all kinds of stuff in it.
It had 0 ammonia when I checked it.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
How long had it set up?
About 4 months now.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Be it.
I ran it for nearly 2 months before I put any fish in there. And the shrimp are still doing fine. I've got blue shrimp in there.
Well, then it's not anything with the parameters because the shrimp would be dying probably before the fish would.
Do you think they got ick?
No.
Might be hard to see.
I guess I could look at them closer. The temperature is right at 77, so it's got a temp. It's set. I can't adjust it. It's such a small tank. It came with a little heater that always stays at 77.
Did he do a water change today? Then
he did do a water change yesterday. I need to ask him.
I wonder if he didn't put prime.
I wonder if he could have.
But that would have killed the shrimp too, though, right?
Yeah.
The shrimp are real sensitive to that. So weird.
I don't know. It is.
A water change could have triggered a parasite too. I've had fish. I've lost fish from ick, and I did not see it until it was too late.
That would be a drag. I've got literally thousands of endlers, but these are kind of my best endlers they were picking.
Yeah, right.
So hopefully this one boy pulls through. And I told my mom, I'm just going to put 2 females in there tomorrow and see what happens. And we'll let
So one of them survived.
Yeah. So we'll put 2 females in there and see if we can just produce some pink endlers for, new babies.
Yeah. Strange stuff. I've had a couple of times when I lost every fish in the tank except one. There always seems to be one survivor. If everybody gets sick and they all die, there will be one left. I got 20 fish. I'll lose 19 of them. There'll be one left, and he'll live forever.
Yeah.
Turn this thing.
I experienced that with my Tetra tank. I had one black Tetra live, but all my Penguin Tetras died, all my Rummy Nose, and all my other black Tetras. But this one black Tetra lived, and since then I've moved him into a different tank, and I bought 5 more, so there's 6 of them hanging out in that little tank.
When you see that most often, it's when a tank goes bad, when it fouls and the oxygen gets depleted. Every fish except one will die. There will be one left that'll survive.
Maybe he's just got better gills.
Pardon?
Maybe he's just got better gills.
Yeah, right.
And then Hip Hop Hillbilly.
I think so.
Hip Hop.
Hip Hop Hillbilly. I like that name.
Heck yeah.
Right.
Did you guys hear my terrible joke yesterday? Since I'm from Tennessee, my preferred pronouns are he and haw.
I love it.
How's it going on the Oscars? Miss DD? They're all coming in now, Ed.
Awesome.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's super awesome.
Steele's Linga.
Well, Father Fish, are you bringing any tanks up, or are you going to buy new tanks?
I emptied every tank except for the 20-year-old one. I got that still set up. I brought it up. I think it fouled on the way, but I'll leave that set up. Everything else is going to be brand new. Say, I'm keeping the tanks, but the substrate, everything will be new. So I'm going to be setting up all new tanks.
With local,
Setting up
probably
all
with some
my
local
tanks.
fish.
New. Pardon?
Now you can fill it with all the local fish you have now.
Yeah,
there.
well, that's the idea, exactly. You know, and I want to
awesome.
be able to do brackish and salt as well as natives, freshwater natives. So I'm going to try to focus on a lot of natives. There are a lot of them around here, and I don't think anybody's much collecting. So we'll see how it goes.
Zen corrected me. Hello, Zen. She says, I believe it's Steel Slinga, not Steel Linga.
Zen had me laughing so hard. I watched my stream after we did it last night, and she was just so funny
She was on you last night.
Yeah, and I didn't see a single thing during the show.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was pretty good. Oh, man. Oh, those mollies that we collected with you, Father Fish,
Yeah.
are still doing wonderful. I've got a bajillion of them. I need to send some to this guy. so
I
he can get
need
some.
I need 20. I've got an order for 20. Do you want to fill the order?
Well, I mean,
I'll give you the money for it.
oh no, we wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take money from you. Okay, what right now, here's what I need. I need to find out where I can purchase the bags for the heat sealers. You know, it's like a sleeve.
Yeah.
And you cut it, you know, you just like you go so far, you heat seal it, you cut it, you put your water and your fish in there, and then you heat seal the other end.
Like I said, I would
Yeah.
check with Jason from Redfish or Roxy and Brian Peplin Creek and
You need the tubes.
Yeah.
I know both of them
The
are
tube.
using them.
That's
that
I
right?
should say it as a tube. You see,
Yeah,
My
he put
hands-
it in chat for you. U-line. Peplin's here now. I said U-line it's called.
I'm terrible with rubber bands. My fingers are just too big to do rubber
yeah.
bands good. Like Mississippi Hippie, she sent me fish, and I mean, she must have like perfect little hands that make a perfect knot, but I just can't
Right.
make a strong enough knot. I trust.
Yeah,
the
I've
mate.
done 10,000 of them. I'm pretty
You've probably
good.
done more. I bet you've done
Probably.
more.
Yeah.
Well, heck, if you and I would have stayed long enough, we probably would have learned real good the way he worked us, boy.
You know, that's what,
That's right.
that was probably my failure. I should have asked him to teach me how to do it really good, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a technique.
I think on Friday nights, Ed, I'm going to stream from the other side, man. So I didn't realize the sun comes blaring in here at this time of night.
Oh,
Oh, there's absolutely no sun here. I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of lightning yet.
well, it's dark here.
So Maryland's probably got some nice darters up that way, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's here is not in Florida. So I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, the main thing I want to get is sticklebacks. I really want to get a stickleback population going.
Have you ever bred those? Those things are so cool to breed, I guess.
No, I never have. I haven't had them since I was a kid. In Florida, I got them once or twice, but it's too hot down there. They're a cold water fish.
Yeah, we have them wild here.
Right, I know you do. Alex caught a bunch of them. I don't know if he bred them or not, but he had some.
Next summer, I plan on doing a lot more going out and getting some native fish. This year, I just can't do anything because of all my stupid heart surgeries I've had, and I can't get this wet, so maybe out in August I can do it.
Well, I think it's because of cold water aquatics and that ABC's got us all with the native bug in us.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Well, I went to the Atlanta show or the Atlanta club meeting because they were talking about natives in Georgia 2 weeks
Right.
ago. And, oh, man. But I can't collect here in Tennessee.
Why not?
Tennessee, they have a new law because they didn't want anybody getting their darters. Now, you're not allowed to pull any fish out of a waterway unless it's dead.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so basically, if you pull them out, you have to say that it's for bait, is what the one guy was saying. But I live right next to the Georgia border, so I'm just going to get a Georgia license and go down to Georgia and catch the stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
And Alabama's 15 minutes farther, or 20 minutes.
You know what's weird? Tennessee has been the source for bait fish for years, and probably it's been cleaned out. I know
Maybe they're
most of
worried
the
about
bait
it.
fish we buy in Florida came out of Tennessee. All the shiners.
What's going on there, Jimmy P? Good to see you.
And there are some really neat shiners that I would love to get. Oh my gosh. But I do play, like, do you know ABC Kenny? The other Kenny?
Yeah.
He likes to go native fishing or collecting. And so he said, just let him know. And maybe next year he'll come down and he'll take me to some of the places that he's gone.
Now, where's he live?
He lives, I think, in upstate New York.
Yeah, that's
Or-
right.
Or maybe New Jersey. It's
I
up
think
there.
New York. He had talked to me about the same thing. He likes getting around.
That's
He does
exactly
take
what I was
care.
going to say, Zen. Zen says, aren't there laws against bringing fish across state lines?
Well, hopefully that law doesn't happen.
Yeah, generally not.
Yeah, that's that Lindsay thing that hopefully doesn't happen.
How's it going
Yeah.
there, Andy? Good to see you.
But native fish might be actually okay on that list because that's tropical stuff. But I mean, hey, we're not
Well,
law guys.
In our state, we're not allowed to transport live fish from one body of water to another. Or if we got caught transporting them, we'd be in a little
Yeah.
trouble.
Well, generally, that's not approved anywhere. The LASIK thing has not gone through yet. And it looks like it might die in committee.
Let's hope.
Yeah, that'll help. The current thinking seems to be that it's basically unenforceable.
Oh. Well, it'd be like one of those laws that are just stupid that nobody pays attention to and they don't do anything. I guess that'd be.
More
But I
or
don't
less.
want it even on the
Yeah,
books.
I
Right.
said a while ago, if they made a law and somebody showed up to my house demanding my fish, they might as well ask for my gun because it's going to be the same reaction.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
that.
Boy, you have got a ray of sun directly in your face.
Yeah, dude, it's right here. I think I'm going to flip this around is what I'm going to do.
I don't blame you because, I mean, you can literally see the sun rays in your face. Oh my gosh, now we know where you're at.
Oh, look at that.
Now I
right.
don't have to fight it, man.
Wait, I need to write down what I just saw so I can figure out the front of or the insides of your house. So the garage is behind you.
Yep.
I'm just being stupid. If I ever come, I'll only come invited.
My wife's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? The sun was hitting me right in my eyes the whole time we were on the street. Plus, I like my couch better.
Whatever.
Hi, Danny.
Yeah, teleported they did.
Ted says,
Right.
or Ed says, hello.
Hello.
Hello, she says.
I can't believe you called me Ted. My best friend from high school, I talked to him even today, still today. His name's Ted. So I've been called Ted like almost my whole life. Just because, it's Ted and Ed always running around.
Good day there, GRB. Hello, Al Wet Sox.
Good day, GRB. Well,
Which
Father
world's
Fish.
gonna get a snakehead?
Oh,
I'm for that.
We should
I had a lot of them when I was a kid. It was a very popular fish.
I remember them too, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks so cool! It looks like a dragon in there, like a."
Oh, I know, and they get big.
I kept
Well,
those.
there are some species that'll only get 5 to 6 inches, and they're illegal too.
I kept them in Hawaii when I was stationed there. I loved them.
Did
They're
you?
really
Yeah.
cool fish.
Nice fish.
Have you seen some of
Florida
the?
has, well, let's see. The American version what is that called? The swamp
Bowfin.
fin.
It's the
Pardon?
bowfin.
Bowfin, right?
Bowfin.
The bowfin. That's comparable to a snakehead. And they're pretty cool.
Well, have you seen any of those ones that they've been breeding over in Asia? The colors on them. I've seen some that, they don't look like the snakeheads I've always seen seem like a predator fish with camouflage. That would.
The ones I had in Hawaii, Ed, were bright red. They had bright red on their head,
Right.
and down the side.
Right.
It was amazing. They were cool.
Yeah, well,
That's
the
what
colors are all there on them. That's right.
Awesome. I just learned in Atlanta, because I've always thought about doing bluegill or a sunfish of some sort. I just found out that they're super territorial in a fish tank.
Yeah. You
And
know
it's
what
like-
else is really pretty is the the pickerel, the chain pickerel.
Any
Chain
of them-
pike, beautiful fish.
Any of those pike species, I think, are amazing. And then the pumpkin seed would be my favorite of the sunfish. The pumpkin seed are really colorful.
There's probably no prettier fish than the American sunfish.
Yep. I just did a short like last week saying the exact same thing. And I was showing one that was like almost all solid red.
Yeah.
And I think it was a long-eared sunfish.
Right.
It wasn't the pumpkin seed. It was the long ear, I think. But yeah, they're all just amazing. I love them. It was way back. I was stocking my lake back in Missouri, and I bought 200 bluegill. Oh, I don't even know if they were bluegill. It was sunfish, whatever
Yeah.
it was. I bought 200 of them for $100 for them to dump into my lake, and then I just bought 6 discus for $150. And I was like looking at these things saying, dang it. I wish I would have just bought, or took a net and scooped a couple as they were dumping them.
Yeah.
But I guess if they're territorial, they'd kill each other.
Andy says, dude, I just put around 8 bluegill into a 7,000-gallon
Wow.
and I only have one left. So they
Oh.
just beat the snot out of each other. They are territorial, especially if you're pulling them this time of year because they've been on beds
That's
getting ready
right.
to mate. So they're real particularly aggressive this time of year. Oh, and then
Carol
Carol
Cox,
long ear are beautiful too. I've never heard
Carol
of the
Cox has
orange
got
spot.
some. Yeah.
Huh, orange spotted. Carol, if you get a chance, email me a pic of that orange spotted one. I'm interested to see what that is.
Nice.
See what I'm going to look at what mine was. I videotape everything at the Tennessee Aquarium, and I've been doing it for years. Whenever I see a pretty fish, I videotape it, and then it's just for me. And now that these shorts have come out, I've just started using all these fish I've been looking at for
very
years.
cool. Yeah. Nice.
It's kind of like my baseball card collection I'm sharing with people, and then I try to find stupid music or something to put along with it.
Well, that aquarium's like what, 20 minutes from me, if that, Ed?
Well, no, it's actually about 50 now. It used to be only 20 when I lived in Hickson, but I actually lived just outside of Chattanooga in a town called Dayton, Tennessee.
Huh.
Whoops. trying to find the.
I have a cousin who was the first director at the Tennessee Aquarium when it was first built. He came out of the Baltimore Aquarium, the National. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Wow. That's amazing. That's as pretty as a discus.
Yeah, but I guess if you can't even keep them in a, what was it, a 7,000 gallon tank?
Wow.
Oh
Well,
my!
Cold water, I think he has a warmouth and a pumpkin seed together. I think if you mix up the species, you might get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just can't have like 2 bluegills, 2 pumpkin seeds, 2, of
Well,
the same species. But
my buddy back in Missouri, he kept a bass, a bluegill, and a pacu in a tank together,
Huh.
and he hadn't fed them all. I mean, it was kind of a weird combination.
That's the way I used to keep big fish. Just one of each in a big tank, like 500 gallon.
Well, Father Fish, I'm going to hit you with the same question that I hit this guy with as soon as we started. I've got a 200-gallon tank, and it's a tall, so it's like 4 foot tall. It's kind of a different type shape. It's like like a square, because I had it made for a window. It looked like a window back in Missouri for the house that I lived in then, and I took it with me. But right now, it used to be a discus tank, but now I had put 4 threadfin acaras and 4 geophagus in there, and 2 of the threadfin acaras made it up, and the male killed all the geos, and the other male threadfin acara. So I pulled those 2 to try to have them, spawn in a separate tank, and now I've taken the girl and I put her back in that 200. So I've got 2 girl threadfins. I've got a Severin I got at the last fish club meeting I went to, a Bisher in there, and one of these giant Synodontis that are like a foot long.
Right.
But what did Kenny, you said a firemouth or a warmouth?
Firemouth, a rainbow cichlid, a electric blue Dempsey, because they don't get as big.
Do you have any other recommendations?
You want to add to that?
I just don't want to
I
fish
think
that's going to
Kenny's
fight.
on the right track. Any of the cichlids. Now, those he listed are pretty gentle, and they don't get real big. So, you can kind of go in that direction. You can't do little ones like rams because they're just too small.
I also don't want to heat the tank up that hot.
You could do more of the bikers.
Well,
You can have multiple bikers in a tank. They don't fight.
and well, you see, and that was what I bought. I got 2 ornate babies at the big fish deal like 4 years ago or 3 years ago in the auction for $15, and they were like little worms. But now they're 16 inches.
Huh.
But they eat just about everybody else in the tank or attack it. So I was afraid that, because the one that I have in there is a banded or armored Bisher, Batese or Deltese. Is that how you say it?
Deltese, yeah.
So and she's going to be bigger, and she's very docile. She's taller by about a half inch to an inch, but they're almost 4 or 5 inches longer because they're almost like rope fish. They haven't filled in yet.
Right.
And I'm afraid that since they just grew so much faster and everything, they might try to pick on her.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Kenny?
She's my favorite fish I have in the whole house.
I have never kept those. The Bisons.
Haven't you? I've had a lot of them, but I've only got a few big ones. let's see, the only tank I've seen that had big ones in it had about half a dozen, but there was nothing else in with them.
I remember you had a giant one at the store, and I didn't even realize that it was a fish. At first, I thought it was a log because
Yeah,
something else was sitting on top of it.
right.
And then I went, "Oh my god, that's awesome!"
Yeah, that was in that 500.
Okay. And I mean, maybe it was just a smaller Beischer on top of it. I don't know what it was on top, but it was all of a sudden all I did was focus on the big one, and that's all I can remember. But it was neat.
You know, the Severums are real showy.
Well, in that that's the first Severon I've ever got, and it's super nice. You know,
I really like them. The gold Severum is probably one of my all-time favorite fish.
see now. What about getting more Severans? Would that work, or should I just
Yeah,
keep it to the one?
they rarely get into squabbles with each other.
Trying to figure out which one. Only Oscar is asking me what kind of fish are fighting there. I didn't notice something fighting.
We got Oscars up there. I don't think they're
Well,
fighting.
this is a Vieja behind me, and I was wondering. I think she has just been in some because it looks like she's been beat down. She's over here. I'll have to deal with it when the stream's over, figure out what's going on. That's one of my favorite fish. I would hate to lose her. But that's her mate over here. I had to separate them into two different tanks, so now they just sit on each side of the tank and stare at each other.
Yeah, right, right.
I might try to put them together again and see what happens.
We picked up, while I was still in Florida, we picked up a half a dozen full-grown doveye. They were really pretty. Central American stuff.
That's another fish I've never kept as a doveye.
They're pretty gentle. They're not a particularly aggressive fish. Trying to remember what the other one was.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin, his were mean as the dickens, man. He couldn't even put his hand in there. Yeah.
Oh.
But his were great. I mean, huge.
These were about 8-10 inches. They will get a lot bigger.
Those,
EJ,
those
EJ
are Severums. Those are Heroes Lipifers. They're only Oscars. The ones that keep going at it, those striped ones, those are Heroes Lipifers.
EJ was asking if I actually have a fish store. No, I meant Father Fish's fish store when we went down there.
Yeah, we went down to Florida and visited him and got to see his fish store.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
That's where the Booty Boys were born.
Yep.
We all wish we would have got the high top version now.
Yeah, I wish I would have got what Father Fish. You know, it was pretty dumb of us. We should have watched the veteran and then went exactly with what the veteran was doing.
I don't even know why James got boots to begin with. I mean, he might as well have just gotten flippers. The boy didn't want to use the water.
Right. We had to tell you this story. We were sitting in a restaurant having seafood entrees, and across the street was a dive shop. Well, I wanted to take them all collecting, but nobody had gear. So when we finished eating, we went across the street to buy booties, to get some diving gear. And we all bought a pair. They were about $50 a pair, I think we spent. And we all
could have got them at Walmart probably for 10.
Right.
Father Fish's were only $5 more, but he had 3 times as much material in his because they went all the way up his ankle with a zipper, and ours are like, moccasins.
And I'll tell you, I would have used that extra when we were at that last spot we collected those mollies at. I mean, that was some serious muddy, mucky, serious stuff.
Oh, yeah. Man. So the woman who waited on us referred to us as the Booty Boys. And that kind of stuck.
What? James slept in the truck all the way down to Florida, But Kenny and I, our goal was to stop at a Walmart somewhere, to buy a pair.
Huh.
But it was in the middle of the pandemic, and
Oh,
nothing was open.
I
At the
mean,
time.
nothing. I guess I clicked the wrong time
Funny.
to head off on a nationwide trip in the middle of a pandemic. But
Well, you didn't get sick and you had a lot of fun. It may have been
Oh,
the
yeah.
best time.
Yeah, right.
It's what we needed. We needed to get out and do things.
Well,
Now
we
you
could
gotta-
look at we went to a big pond, and we caught about a half a dozen different species of fish. Could not get James out of the water. He was just having the time of his life.
And that boy was up to his neck. That's what I couldn't get over. All you saw was barely his chin.
Oh,
Man.
I
I'm like,
know.
what?
And
And there were alligators in there.
and the funniest thing was his
Bucket.
5-gallon bucket was sideways, so he was catching all these fish and putting them in this bucket, and then they're swimming.
Right.
He caught a lot of fish. He caught a lot
He
of
did.
fish.
He
did a
did.
lot better
Yeah.
than I did.
He did real well.
I was just so burnt out by the time we sat there for that. I just got shut down, man. It was finally all that trip up till then. It caught up with me, and I finally had a crash there for a minute.
Well, I think we had 2 or 3 live streams going when we were doing that.
Yeah, you were down with James. I was down with Ed. Then we swapped places once in a while, and it worked out pretty
It
good.
was funny. Yeah.
And one of you guys got our very first troll, I think.
I got one. That was my first troll
Oh,
ever.
that's
Yeah.
right.
They came in with all kinds of porn stuff and all kinds of crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Huh.
Good
Larry
time.
D, what's going on?
I had a guy come up on my live stream this evening. Very strange name. I couldn't begin to pronounce it or even remember. Each name was at least 10 letters long, with W's and X's and V's and Y's. Crazy name. Anyway, he said, I really like your videos and I really want to do a deep substrate, but I can't where I live. And it was obvious that English was his second language. So after the stream, I looked him up. He's from Mongolia.
Oh, wow.
So I told him if he got on Discord, I would help him put together a substrate based on whatever he can get locally. So that's going to be a real challenge. He lives in a desert.
Oh, I didn't.
But I
was
think
like,
what we're going to do is, I think we're going to use manure because he can collect that. And they probably have gardens. So some garden soil. We'll see. We'll see if it comes up. But that was pretty interesting.
that is.
I've had people from there, from Tibet. I have a guy who's routinely from Tibet. I have a fellow who's from Sri Lanka and a couple of people in India. And then there's a girl in the Philippines who just sent me an email and said she's sorry she can't come up. She's pregnant. Cute little girl, really sweet school teacher. So it's really interesting to do these streams and have people from literally all over the world coming in. It's just amazing.
That's awesome. Well, and I absolutely love your deep sand bed or deep sand. Wait, how do you
Substrate, yeah.
deep substrate sand top or sand cap?
Sand
absolutely
chapter,
love it.
yeah.
I mean, all my. Oh, hey, Robert Tianakwa's here, buddy.
What
He's
up,
one of my
Robert?
Buddies.
Hey, Robert.
My tips.
Zeppelin Creek.
Yeah, Peplin's awesome too. I wish I could meet Peplin someday.
I know,
Well, maybe
me
someday
too.
I will. But
He's got an amazing farm, man. You got to go up and see his farm.
and now is he in Minnesota?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right?
That's right. I've got relatives in Minnesota. Last time I was there for a wedding.
Well, he'd be halfway to go to visit him.
Yep. That'd be pretty
Gonna
neat.
do.
But all my plants in those tanks do so much better than any of the other substrates that I have.
Well, again, I've been
Oh.
talking to EJ's come on. We got a couple of new people who have just gotten involved, and we're going to try to put together a team and see if we can't really begin to impact the fish channels with the importance and the effectiveness of dirted deep substrate. You know, because once you do it, man, it's like being home free.
Oh, it is. I mean, I've got 75 tanks and about 60 of them have your style, and those are so much easier to do.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You never get algae.
Nope, you don't. It's
And
awesome.
you can get a food web going and be able to keep fish in indefinitely without having to feed.
Oh wow, I've never done that. I haven't added air. I've gone with the Lucas Brett system in
Yeah.
a lot of them, and I haven't had air in about probably 45 of the tanks.
The food web is basically leaf mulm. It's humus that we collect out of creeks, ponds, wherever, and put it in the tanks, and it creates an environment where microfauna and macrofauna can thrive. And of course, that provides food for small fish. You can't do it for big fish, but you sure can for little fish.
Well,
I was
and
going to say, if I
I'm a
turn
little
the
fish guy.
if I turn the air off on these Oscar tanks, I would have floaters within
Oh, yeah, no question.
7 hours probably.
Absolutely. Well,
Well-
it's a different kind of thing. You're absolutely right. You can't do the same thing.
I have to keep air on native fish too. They
Well,
they don't like the still, just plants and stuff. But and the Goodyeats, I keep air in my Goodyeat tanks. And
Right.
so some of them still I keep air, but the guppies and the inlers have no problems.
I have air on most everything.
Matthew
We just
Clayton
use
wants to know
sponge
Fatherfish.
Pardon?
Matthew Clayton's asking Fatherfish. I have a sand substrate. Would I add more on top or mix new and old to create the deep sand?
What's the time frame on that?
11:23.
Oh, I got it.
Said it.
Mixed new and old. I don't know what he means by that.
He's meaning, does he take his old sand that's already in the tank along with the new sand he buys to create the deep substrate? Should he mix the two, or should he just put the new sand right on top
Just
of the
put
old?
the new sand on top.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, you don't need to mix it.
I have gone through. I bet you I went through 18 50-pound bags of pool sand.
Yeah, the pool filter sand is probably the best. The black sand, the black blasting sand from Tractor Supply that's real good stuff too. They're both inert. The critical thing is that they be completely inert. You don't want anything that's going to dissolve or that's going to release any kind of chemicals.
Now I bought the black sand, and when I opened it up, it was tan.
It ain't consistent.
It was.
I've heard
They called
people-
it black diamond or something, But-
Yeah, it's actually, it's.
but it wasn't black.
That's weird.
Yeah, just my bad luck. That's how it goes.
I've had people tell me that they bought pool filter sand that was dusty.
Oh, see, I've always got it super clean, but
Well, I think a lot of people confuse pool filter sand for that play sand you buy at Home
You're
Depot.
probably
Now,
right.
that play sand, now that is dirty.
Yeah, that's
well,
police dirt. Yeah.
they have to add clay to it so kids can build, and it sticks. So the
So
clay
yeah, I think you're
they're
right.
adding to it.
Right. Yeah. Now you can use that, but you want to put it in before you put the water in, and then when you put the water in, you got to cover it so the water doesn't stir it up. But
The white
it's real
sand,
good.
the white
Good.
sand, DJ, the pool filter sand. I've seen it white. I've seen it beige. You just gotta hope you catch them the right day, because sometimes it comes on white. We've got both in this house, white and tan.
Yeah,
I've
it
only
depends
got it-
where it's collected.
Now I did hear that there's a new type of pool sand that's bad.
Well, you just-
It's like, I don't know if it's sand or if it's actually a plastic or what, but it has little barbs on it,
Huh.
and it's for more, bacteria or whatever to grow on it, beneficial
Oh, yeah.
bacteria for
So
cleaning.
synthetic something.
Yeah, but I heard it's really expensive too. So if you're buying a 50-pound bag of pool sand that costs $25, good chance it may not be really the right stuff.
Yeah, it should be like $10.
Yeah.
The other thing to watch out for too, I have seen some companies that put chlorine products in the sand too, so you want to make sure it's chlorine free. The stuff you're buying.
USL just said that it's silica.
Right,
Sand.
that's right.
Awesome.
It should be silica. Exactly.
Oh, that's the good stuff is silica.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what the bad stuff is called. But
It's probably a plastic.
I still have about 6 bags that I haven't used, just waiting for the next, for the next thing.
The next
Yeah, I
one,
just-
thanks, right.
I just picked up 100 pounds worth of sand the other day again.
My pool place probably think I'm crazy because I bought so much sand from them. I probably bought almost a pallet of it.
I used to buy it by the pallet. That's exactly
Actually,
how I bought it. Yeah.
I'm probably going to ask my local guy, because same thing. I go there so often. I wonder if he'd give me a deal if I just bought a pallet.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's getting
Right.
expensive now. I mean, when I first started buying it, you could get it for like $7-8 for a 50-pound bag. Now it's up to like $15.
Oh man. I haven't bought one for a year because I just bought so many.
Yeah, ever
once.
since this mess that everybody's taking advantage now.
I know. I haven't bought it for about a year and a half. I was paying, I think, $8 or $9, but that was from a supplier.
Holy, we're down to 1 minute already.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for coming. I don't know if there's any super chats. If there was, I'm so sorry because I didn't say thank you when it happened. Oh man. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully
thanks
nobody
for
super
inviting
chatted
me
me.
up and fun to be here.
Oh, well, thank you, Father Fish, for coming up. Thank you, Kenny. Mods,
Leave
you
it.
guys were amazing. Hopefully, if I did get a super chat, the mod said thank you.
Right.
Leave it to Father Fish. He comes and all of a sudden our time just goes, wow, and we're gone, man. The hour's over.
That
Yeah,
was
well,
fun.
You get to learn so much. It's awesome. Normally, I have the thing that I can read, from YouTube on there. But when I had to click on to start the stream, I had to click it off to get to start stream. And then I never went back, so I don't get to see what.
I'll tell you what to do. Get a second monitor. That's
Well,
what I do. So I've got StreamYard on one and I've got YouTube on the other.
That's what Danny does in her office. She's got 2 or 3 in there.
Yeah.
When I sell enough T-shirts and hats, I'm going to buy a whole new computer system.
There you
This
go.
one, I left this one in my fish room for probably 2.5 years, and it has
Something
slowed
wrong.
so much down. I
She's been
think
like
from the
that for
humidity.
over a half hour now.
Oh look,
It's fine.
Danny, you got to
Nice
wait.
to meet you. Norm.
Now you got to peek in and say hello. They all saw you. You got to come over here
Saw
and
an
say
arm.
hello.
There was an arm. There's a hand.
Thanks, Danny.
There
Oh,
she
there
is.
she is.
All right. Danny.
She's excited because I said we're almost done because we are heading for Top Gun tonight. We've been wanting to see it. We haven't been out to see it.
Oh. Well,
Awesome.
have a grand time.
And everybody head over to Big Tank Hank and say hello to him. And we'll see you next week on James's channel with the Booty Boys. Thanks, guys.
Good night, all.
I have to hit
Thank
the
you.
stop.
Bye-bye.